Okay, here we go. Oh, that's pretty, Liz.
Hello.
I just looked over and you're doing the lacy crochet. Yay! Good morning. Oh, look, it puckered right there. Huh. Welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow.
The Adventures of Liz and Rebecca. They continue.
Getting my mask off. They continue?
They continue.
What? Yeah, apparently. Okay, so I'm starting off the show, and I'm probably going to wear it the whole show because yay. But I have to show you. I finished the bottom of my golden fern. Ooh. And yes, I've lost a little bit of weight.
It looks really,
so
really
this
good,
is
though.
huge on me, but I may gain it back, so it's fine. And until I block it, so the golden fern, I will get to introductions in a second. This has to happen while I'm standing, and I could stand back up, but you know. The golden fern asked for, and that puckering might get better after it's blocked, only like 3/4 of an inch of ribbing at the bottom. And I wasn't sure. And I tried it on before I bound off, and I was like, yeah. But this will flip up until I block it. It might lie a little better after blocking. It might still want to flip. Ribbing that's that small is going to have some issues. But I like the length, so I ended it. Okay. Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in sunny.
Ain't gonna be hot again.
And probably gonna be hot, Brevard, North Carolina.
And Liz, I'm the minion there.
Yeah.
Welcome to our Monday.
Look, yeah, it's always a little sketchy on Monday. On Monday, that's Tuesday. But look, I'm gonna stand up again because the fun part's down here. Da, da, da. See if that's even better to go. Da. Okay. So I'm very excited by that. I pushed through. I was knitting on Liz's porch on Sunday, and it was hot, or your deck. I don't know. It's my New Englander calling it porch. I don't know. It was hot, and this was hot in my lap, but I was like, I'm going to finish it. And I would smack the table right now, but don't want to hurt the microphone. That we hope is working correctly today. There was a little bit of feedback the past couple episodes, so we're testing. And if it keeps doing it, I'm just going to have to invest in a new microphone somehow. We'll see. So was it someone asked, are there going to be sleeves on this? And I was like, no, I'm going to leave it like this. No, there's going to be sleeves. There's actually really pretty color work from like here down on the sleeves that matches this. And shout out to Sarah Beth. Excuse me. Sarah Beth said, ooh, I want to make that on Instagram. And I said, ooh,
it's fingering
weight. It's fingering weight.
Tiny little needles.
No. This for me to get gauge. I was on a 6 and an 8 for the color work. You're supposed to be on a 4 and a 6. So yeah.
Tiny little
Could be needles. Tiny little needles. No, but I said it's fingering weight. If you're okay with that, we'll hook you up. If you're not, Jennifer Steingast, who wrote this pattern, has a lot of really, really wonderful patterns for, this is going to bug me all day, but wonderful patterns that are thicker yarn. You know, I have one back there that I made with worsted weight yarn, and it's gorgeous, and I love it. And this has all over increases around the top of it, which is probably why it's wanting to pucker between the girls, because my girls are big. That's life. Yeah. So, what are you working on, Liz? I have things to talk about, but not yet.
So Friday.
You see what happened was
night. I found it's over the top crop. I think it's over the top crop. I'll have to. I'll find the pattern and Rebecca will put the
it's right okay. Name. It's for a kids thing, right?
Yeah. So it's on a website that if you sign up to, you can get free patterns, but you have to sign up to the website, and it goes up to a size 16 so on the website. It's not on Ravelry. It's on the Ravelry takes you to that site.
Gotcha.
It goes up to a size 16 on the website, but the downloadable pattern only does you to a 6T. I didn't read everything, as we do. Shocked face. So I was like, a 6T, I'll just do it on bigger needles and add more stitches, and it's going to kind of be a guessing game. There was even
Said no crocheter or knitter ever.
Yeah.
No one's ever engaged in
No.
that before.
And there was she does an extended double crochet. And so I was like, let me go look up what that is, because she didn't have the definition that I could find.
Yeah, and what you've described as an extended double crochet is not what I have found before, but it's okay.
Well,
it's still,
it was 90. What I am doing is what 90% of the
I'm not
thing said. You wrap around twice and you pull through 2, and then you pull through the rest of the loops. And I'm like, okay. She does it completely different, but I'm in too far, and she pulls it through.
You're already
one,
changing
and then,
so much. Yeah, I mean, that's what my extended double crochet is. You pull it through one and then you do your double.
Yeah, but that wasn't on any.
What she's doing looks really cool.
Things that I found. So
I'm
not like stressed or anything. But this is
Liz be stressed. Like. What?
It's a top down yoke. Like, you basically do your circly yokey thing.
That's the scientific term for yoke.
You just cast off the sleeves and then you keep going.
Okay, so it'll be like open sleeves.
So it'll be
like this.
It'll be like,
but really loose and fun, and
tank, or not a tank, but a capped sleeve. And I'm gonna crop it, and but it's so cool. It's so pretty. It just floats. It's silk, lace weight silk.
Oh, that's right. You're doing the silk.
On a K hook, which is the equivalent needle, would be a 10.5 or a 6.5 millimeter. So it's just very light, and
I'll find that later. But it's light and fluffy, right?
Yeah,
that's cool. That's gonna be really, really neat looking. Nice little shell. Like you like putting the little shell. It goes with what you're wearing too. Look at that. Sorry. So yes,
I made dresses too. Well, a dress and
over the weekend.
Another dress.
We should talk about pre-weekend. About this.
Oh yeah, this. So if you came to Friday night's knit night,
did we talk about it?
We talked about it. And somebody even mentioned that it was a bonus episode of the sideshow because they got the
I just remembered
the continuing adventures of Liz and Rebecca.
I tried to explain what I was thinking about doing with the colors, and we were not on the same page. So we do not share a brain. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, we do not.
Sometimes we do, and sometimes it's very apparent we don't.
And there was one of our knitters on social media. Because we got a new twisty, and I had to put it together, and so Liz took pictures of me having crawled in there, and one of my knitters online thought I was taking a nap in there. I was like, no,
I would have kicked it
hard. Don't break it. It already came with enough crunched edges. So it's kind of IKEA adjacent. It's a twisty unit with slat wall on it, and so we had to put it together with like lots of camshaft thingies and stuff, and so we rearranged the shop and put it together, and then had to rearrange some of it back because it didn't work out the way we wanted it to. We still needed more space. Like the whole idea of getting this was to have more space.
And oddly enough, we have to rearrange it again because Rebecca's instructions weren't clear the first
Well,
time.
maybe we leave it the way you like it. I thought she was just doing what she wanted. It turns out she totally misinterpreted what I said.
There was room for interpretation.
Let me show you what I was thinking. I was thinking that we could have DK, just to not, so people could see the different.
Oh yeah, that's not confusing at all.
The same color on the top, right? But the DK is here and the fingering, that's what I meant.
She said DK, fingering.
I said 2 colors. DK,
I never heard it.
Fingering. I did.
Never heard
because you've been putting 2 colors. Anyway, okay. So I'm going to leave that like that and you see what you think. See, here's what I think is confusing. Is when we have the DK and the fingering, like the ones below, right next to each other, people can get confused what's the thicker or thinner, or they think it's the same thing. and it's not. Like those with a discerning eye can, can tell the difference. But even I sometimes can't tell the difference. And I put myself in the discerning eye category. So
I'll be working on that again today because
maybe. Well, we have so much other stuff to do though. I'm trying so hard not to swear or give her fingers right now. Let me just tell you, the struggle is real because I want this to be a family-friendly show. And I'm already, by saying I want to swear and give her fingers, making it not. Life right now, I tell you. Okay. That's life outside the shop. Life in the shop is this, and it's fun.
All
And
day long.
It's great. So sometimes customers that come up are a little, they test my patience, but mostly they are wonderful people and we have a great time.
That's my job.
To test my patience? No, your job is to have door duty. So I don't have to have my patience tested. Oh, speaking of all that, I'll say this in the middle here. While we're about to show off some more stuff, we're going to be open on Saturdays now. I'm probably going to die of exhaustion at some point, but that's okay. That's a whole nother thing. Because apparently I'm always stressed and tired. One of my knitters said that. It might be the same knitter. I think it was the same knitter as thinking I was taking a nap inside the the twisty unit. We are going to be open on Saturdays now from 10 to 5. And a reminder that open means same rules as we have for Tuesday through Friday, which for a lot of our customers does not actually mean open, but it does for us. We're going to be here ready to help you. And if you want to come in, sign up for an appointment. And if you
don't want to come in, we'll carry half or all the shop outside so you can look at it.
Excuse me. If you don't know your schedule, or you don't want to take the time to sign up, or you're not comfortable with our protocols to come inside, which involve wearing a mask, we can help you out with so much stuff outside. It's a great way to just come by and pick up some needles. I just need a size 6 32-inch Chowgu. We'll bring it out so you know what you're getting, and then we'll ring you up and take your card and all that good stuff. Don't even need an appointment. So
matching yarn.
Mm-hmm.
Just wandering around looking for cool yarn. I like the
we
color
can bring
blue.
So much out. Oh my
I will
gosh.
bring all the color blue out.
We can do that. But no, yes, we're adding. No, yes, we're adding one day to the schedule. We're adding a true, honest to goodness weekend day. Like you might not be working if you work a regular Monday through Friday job. You can come by the shop. We've been struggling with safety issues. We've been struggling with how exhausting it is to run the shop the way we do now, which is why the people who think we should just be wide open say, well, why don't you just wide open? We're not ready yet. We're still, watching everything, waiting to see what Delta brings us. Hey, okay. We're getting all serious. I'm getting all serious. I'm going to move on. Before we filmed, Liz mentioned, look, there's still a hole back there. You couldn't see that. I'm like, because we had twisties covering it, but it wasn't a hole before we put the new twisties up, right?
No, it wasn't a hole. I moved the remaining Oxley
pretty stuff that's discontinued
onto the
is it over here somewhere?
It's over and on the very bottom. Like we really don't have that much left, but
it's down there. My girls are in the way. It's down there. I can't get. So we moved some stuff off the wall and we haven't filled in the holes yet. So you have a window. You have a window to the back of the shop right now. There's actually the yarn back there is so much brighter because some of the natural light is making it back there. It's crazy. We have making sure that wasn't coming off. We have one smaller twisty for all of our local dyes and fun things over there. So I'm super excited about it. But I should show you guys some of the other stuff I worked on. So you worked on masks and this.
And I didn't finish the masks and dresses.
Well, I know because you didn't give me masks when we came in the shop. And this is an older dress, right?
No, this dress, all I had to do was top stitch and put the shoulder straps on, which I did.
Okay, I wasn't totally crazy. It's a new dress.
It's a new dress.
Okay. We were joking via text last night of I hadn't started my laundry and Liz is like, just make a new outfit because that's what she does. I don't make my outfits. I make my accessories. I make over accessories, you know, that kind of thing. So this was this morning's morning meditation. I've made it a little further on my stone catcher wrap. See?
I like it.
I'm at the point, I wanted to get at least a few rows into this part of it. Okay. The stone catcher wrap, the beginning of it functions like a triangle shawl. Looks like a triangle shawl, right? And once you get to a certain thickness, largeness, then it starts going off on either side independently. I'm not there yet, but this pattern repeats with different color combinations. So this was 1 and 3 colors. This is 2 and 3, and this is 1 and 2. Yeah. But the 1 color is in the 2 colors, the second spot, the B, whatever. Okay, I changed the microphone setting to see if it would behave better, which means I'm going to hold this up close to the camera and not talk because you might not hear me. So not talk, me, what?
What? No. That's not a thing. It's you've now mixed all 3 of the colors independent. You know,
every color combination that's possible. And when this one is finished, the one I'm doing now, it's going to look so cool. Every color combination that could have happened is happening. I don't know in this if you ever have all 3 going on at once. I don't think so. I think because the mosaic, it's always only 2 colors.
Yeah.
But it's really neat. And I will say that, you know, from far away, both of the Fiber Space colors don't have a ton of contrast in them, but they do closer up. Like I'm looking on the camera and I don't see it. This doesn't pop as much, but it still does up close. You know, sometimes when there's not much contrast, like people take the photos and they grayscale it to see what the contrast is. That means that in the banging popping way, they won't necessarily pop, but they'll still show up. This still looks really cool to me. So, and it's Liz's favorite color combination.
It is.
So,
I don't know why, because I really like independently of each other. I like the seafoam. Not a fan of the peach Bellini, but
you like it with
I love them
with
together.
the sea glass.
The sea glass, yeah.
It looks like seafoam.
It does.
Okay. I'm making sure these aren't falling out. Okay. So, what else did I work on? Let me see.
She worked on more than I did.
I always do because I just do little snippets here and there. What? Oh, that was a yawn. I thought she'd make fun of me.
No.
Because that's a thing.
No. Yeah.
All right. There's a bunch of things in here. They weren't all weekend things, but they were probably since we last talked things. So, let's start with. Oh, I forgot. I brought in one of these to try for lunch.
Oh, your mango Pepsi.
I saw Pepsi with mango, and I was like, what? So I have to remember to put that in the fridge.
I'll remember to put it in the fridge.
Probably. Okay. All right. Okay, I think I'm going to go backwards because of what's on top. So I decided... Put that back down. What the heck? I'm trying this thing that's on the cover of the pom-pom. I am not making the crop version, though. She can pull off the crop version. I cannot.
She swatched 3 times Friday night.
And finally went back to the second. Yeah. And, the pattern writer, when I posted it on Instagram, the pattern writer said, oh, but it'll ease out a little when you block it. Mine did. And I'm like, that's both good and bad, because in stockinette, I couldn't get my stitch gauge to match without going down teeny tiny. And I'm looking at what's happening, and I might have to go down, redo it teeny tiny anyway, but I'm going to go with this for a little while longer. The row gauge was too small and the stitch gauge was too big. I can never get them both right. Now this is made sideways. So this sweater is knit like this, back and forth across.
So on this one, the row gauge is more important than the stitch gauge.
And I think that's what she was addressing when she said, you can ease it out when you block it. So if my row gauge is too small, that means that picking a size that will fit me, it might end up being too tight. It also, since my stitch gauge was too big, it might end up being too long, but that's actually kind of okay. Like, okay, so look at the cute pattern. There's all these cute patterns that happen
It's
in it so far.
Estonian.
Well, this up here is Estonian braid.
Yeah.
It really just makes it look like there's V's running across
Like
your
you
rows of
took a
stitches.
crochet hook and
And that was a little bit of a pain in the bum to do because there's no give to this yarn. Because you do it by, you knit into the back of the second stitch and then come around and knit into the front of the first stitch, take them both off and put your stitch back on. Put your last stitch back on. Like you have 2 stitches there. And you put the first one, the one closest to the tip of your needle back over, if I'm doing it right. And I think I'm doing it right because I think that looks like what it does on there, right? And then there's this wrap stitch that there's 2 rows of it. And if you do it right, it looks like there's wraps kind of coming in and going around. And then there's going to be Estonian braids with increases and decreases. So it's going to be all kinds of fun. There's a lot of intricacy to this.
Craziest part of this pattern was it's like 3 or 4 pages of this is what you do for these stitches.
Here's what you do for this stripe, and 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 now the pattern starts. So this is, I would say this is not for the faint of heart, but it's really cool. And so there's a crop version and what she's calling a high hip version. And I'm thinking, you know, because this is probably going to come, that's actually a good length, potentially, if that's where it is. This is the edge of the back.
Is it seamed?
It is seamed kind of, I mean, it's provisional cast on. So it's probably Kitchenered into place when you're done or something. Like this is the back. And I think I'm liking that. I think it's not a high hip version anymore. I think it's a hip version because of my stitch count. And I may get a little further in and decide, no, I need to go down to teeny tiny needles. I'm on US 3s right now. I don't really want to go smaller, but I could. This is going to be one of my ongoing side projects. I don't usually do patterns from Pom Pom because they're popular enough they fly off the shelves, or if I'm doing it, is someone really going to buy the whole book still based on me just making one of these? And we'll see. It
is a very cute pattern.
It's cute, and it was in, and again, I'm not making the one that's like way up here. It's cute, and it's with a yarn that we carry in the shop. It's not a yarn we can get back in very easily right now because a lot of Juniper Moon is crazy back ordered, but I figured, what the heck? Why not start another project, right?
Yeah.
I started 2 other projects. I started 2 other projects last week.
I keep starting crochet projects because they're crochet and
they don't count. And why don't they count, Liz, for people who might have just joined watching us?
So for knitting projects, pretty much your needles have to stay in the work. Sometimes you can unscrew the tips and put the little stoppers on and blah, 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 blah. But then you forget what needles you started with. And although we have a great new hack for that, who was it that said the hack where you tie the knots in the tail?
Oh, I forget who, but yeah.
Somebody on Knit Night said you tie the knots in your tail.
I think it's Peggy Young. I think it's Peggy.
Yes.
Shout out to Peggy.
And like, if you're doing a size 5 needle, you tie 5 little knots in your tail so you can remember what size needles. So great hack. But I don't take my needles out because I'll forget, because tying knots in my yarn I just found out about. So there's that.
So you could try it.
Crochet, you can theoretically take your hook out because there's no live stitches except the one, and you just make a big loop and leave it. Crochet, you can theoretically take your hook out and go start another. I don't. Same issue with needles, but
so
they don't count.
If you're in timeout, like if you have a project in timeout, but it's crochet, it's not monopolizing something. So it's okay. Yeah. Theoretically. So she doesn't count those as works in progress. Okay. So since I finished my break in tied cowl, which I have not had time to block yet and do fun things yet. So I don't have it fully finished, as in like I can never think about it again and wear it.
Than you had the other day.
I decided to start a new project by Tiffany Lynn. And this is it. Look, it's such a cute little top. It's called the Wisp Raglan, and it's falling off the table. And there's some eyelets right here in the raglan seam. And then there's some color work at the bottom. And I think we might have even mentioned that I was thinking about it and we were going to pick out colors. I don't think we ever showed y'all the start of it though. And if we did, oh well, you get to see it again because I don't think I've made much of any progress trying to figure out where this is supposed to go since I started it last week because I started so many projects. But I wanted to show you all. Let me see. Da-da-da. Yeah, I actually remember holding this up maybe for y'all, but tough, So can you see the holes? I mean, I'm doing Belviso, which is already going to have a really loose stitch gauge. But then look, there's the holes that happen on one side of the raglan seam on the front and back. This blue is going to pop, hopefully, with the color work at the bottom. So it's got color work at the bottom, just like this one, in case you forgot what this one looked like. Yay. I'm excited by that. But
wait.
Yeah, my niece's birthday is coming up. And she is turning 12. And I wanted to make her a fun cowl to wear as a cowl. Shawl. Let me try that again. A shawl she could wear as an accessory or as a scarf or kind of one of her first grown-up accessories, perhaps. And the Scottish Highland shawl kept catching my attention. I don't think I have it printed out because I think it was a long pattern. But it's got all of this. It's by Kay Hopkins, and it has all of this fun lace work around the edge, like very, fancy. And I wanted to make it and couldn't really justify making it. So I'm making it for my niece because that justifies it. And I'm making it in her favorite colors. And I'm not to the fancy part yet. Well, I make her favorite color is turquoise. So I'm not to the fancy part yet. But I have gotten a row of eyelets in. What's really cool about this is it's a whole lot of garter. Like, try to hold it. I'm on Likey needles and their cords are like, look at that. It's going to be really hard to show y'all.
Twisties.
They're long twisties. But it's all garter with increases. So most of this part is really easy. And then there's eyelets with a contrasting color. I'm switching the colors out a bit. It should be like black with little blue stripes. And then the blue or the turquoise is all the bottom stuff. And I just want as much of this to be turquoise as possible. So I'm flipping colors around. And she has instructions of, if you don't want these, excuse me, these eyelets, which, if I put them up against, never mind. Over my head. Yeah, look, there's the eyelets. Woo! If you don't want the eyelets, you can just do 2 more rows of these increases. She has modifications you can do for the pattern. So I will keep you updated on my progress on this. I'm very excited. I'm on a size 5 needle with fingering weight yarn. So it's light and airy and squishy. And I'm just using Cascade Heritage. So it's not, going to be super expensive. I might have to, because I'm switching colors around, I might need a second skein of turquoise. We're going to see. Instead of like 1 skein of each should be more than enough if you're doing it the way the pattern's written. But I'll keep you updated because when I get to the lace work, I think it's going to be so pretty. I'll put a link in the description. Scottish Highland Shawl by Kay Hopkins. And just check it out because this lace work at the bottom, or I might have a picture of it in my Instagram feed in the background, is gorgeous. It's really gorgeous. And it's part of an ebook that one of the patterns in it is the Viking shawl. And we affectionately call all of our shoppers Vikings because they come and pillage or lay siege to the shop. So I might have to make that one too. Excuse me, more for the shop than anything. Just because it's a Viking shawl. Come on, people. And it's actually used with holding 2 lace weight yarns together. And they wrote it for Juniper Moon Findlay, which is kind of similar feel to our Mayu lace, or look to our Mayu lace. We discussed, because we talk about everything. We discussed maybe using the United Foursome on it, but I think it's gonna look so awesome in the Mayu lace. I knit and crochet with more Mayu lace than we sell because it's fun, and not everyone likes lace weight. But yeah. So
About that.
I shouldn't start another project. Oh my gosh.
You have to finish one first.
Which one?
Probably your nieces, because
Yeah, because there's a deadline for that.
there's a deadline and it's quickly approaching.
And I'll keep working on it then. My sister says it's okay. It doesn't need to be done by her birthday, but I kind of have a thing about that. So, yeah.
It's okay. No, it's not.
No, it's not. Speaking of Vikings, I want to mention really quickly. I set up a Patreon account for us over the weekend. And Liz says that people have been asking, and maybe they haven't, maybe they haven't, but
I remember like at least one person this past week asking, and we were like, no.
Well, we do now.
No, we do.
So anyone who doesn't know, Patreon is where you can support the shop and support our show with a monthly subscription. And you get shout outs. In fact, I have to remember, like, we've already got 5 or so patrons on Patreon. And I'm going to put your name in the credits because you are a supporter of the show. You get your name in the credits, even as little as $3 a month. You get your name in the credits of both the Sun Dragon Sideshow and the Sun Dragon Tips and Tricks. I'm not separating them out with different accounts. It's like you get 2 for the price of 1. Yay! It's free to subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you'd like to sign up on Patreon to support us financially, like, I have all the yarn in the world and I'd love to support you, but I don't need more yarn. Here's a way to do it. Here's a way to make sure that we have the time and energy to do cool things like this and maybe get a new microphone if this one's busted now. But the reason I said, speaking of Vikings, is I've tried to give them all cute little Viking-esque names. Like, there's a mini Viking and a Vikingette and a Viking Deluxe and a Viking Plus and a Viking with benefits. They're all different levels. You get different perks. Starting at even as little as $3, we will put your name in the credits. Kind of like a program for a performance where you get different names, right? And different tiers. And $5 starts you earning Sun Dragon merchandise that you can only get through Patreon. And after you've been subscribed for 3 months, you can get some cool merchandise, things from us that say Sun Dragon or say the Viking thing on it. And you can check out the Instagram page for some of like the drafts of things that are going to go on stickers and mugs and tote bags and hoodies and things like that. So, yeah, we're working on that. And we'd love, if you love what we do, we'd love if you can to help support us in our journey of the shop and entertaining you all and entertaining each other and keeping us all going. But there's no obligation. We just want to throw it out there,
And in the future, we have some fantastic ideas for some upper level.
For like huge upper level things. Like, we're not expecting people to subscribe at the huge upper levels, but if you can and you want to, hey, that's awesome. But we've been brainstorming some ideas. I had other ideas I might have put in the newsletter that I didn't mention to you yet, but they're not.
You might have read the newsletter.
You might,
or at
really?
least skimmed it a bit.
None of them are actualized yet. So right now we have things like being in the credits, getting shout outs from us, which you do anyway, but name in the credits is a new thing. Maybe getting bumped up the list in terms of things that get suggested to happen. Doesn't guarantee, but it gives you priority if we suddenly have a huge list. Some of the higher levels, like starting at like $25 a month, I think is the first level where you get discounts to the online shop, and I'm probably going to rotate them and throw them out. They're one-time discounts, but I might throw out new ones. It's not like you only get one discount for signing up for a whole lot of months. And then I think one of the higher levels we're offering grants you free shipping. So it's one of those, if you are going to order from us a lot, this is probably worth it. So, and discounts and merchandise, some of it we get to do for you. Some of it Patreon will automatically fulfill after like 3 months, which I think is really cool. And we just wanted you to know that that's available. And I will put the link, but it's patreon.com/sundragon. Pretty easy, right? So consider it if you would like to support us, but you don't need yarn right now. That could be a lot of people. But and like I said, the lowest one is $3 a month. It's not bad. So consider your budget, see what you can do. Totally get it. So
I told Mom. They were like, "Ooh, that's cool."
mm-hmm.
So
My parents are like, huh, it's a thing.
Mom and Dad are patrons on a couple of other
That's cool.
things, so they've heard about it, and
Mm-hmm.
they were like, "Oh, yeah, she needs that." And
so we're trying it out. We're gonna see what happens with it. I think it could be really, really cool. That looks awesome, by the way. She's got so much crochet there. It's like it's taking up the whole
actually
table.
like if you feel it, there's
a little bit of substance to it.
Yeah.
What? Okay, so we need to go to open up the shop. I hear them dragging chairs around outside. So running through the schedule, sit and stitch tonight, right?
6 to 9
p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
828-877-3550 is the
catch
code
that?
to get on.
Yeah, it's the shop phone number. It'll be in the description below too. Tomorrow, I guess we'll try to sell you some yarn and maybe some notions. I don't know. We've reorganized. We have a whole bunch of notions like within reach, right over Liz's shoulder there. One of the small twisties became something to hang up all our fun notions on. So maybe we'll pillage that for something to show you tomorrow. Thursday is Dear Becky and Lizzy, and I don't know if we have questions yet. So send us some questions, things that we can philosophize on that have to do with knitting and crochet.
Or yarn.
Mm-hmm. And that is, if you want to mail it to us, it's Dear Becky and Lizzy, Sun Dragon Art and Fiber, 35 South Broad Street, Brevard, North Carolina, 28712.
Or email me, Liz at sundragonartandfiber.com.
There you go.
Spelled out.
All spelled out. Friday is knit night again. I don't know why I suddenly stumbled on the schedule. I think it's been a few days. And same thing as tonight, 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Zoom code is
828-877-3550.
Yes. And then we will be open on Saturday for business. So make an appointment or come by and say hi on Saturday.
Our weekend, because some people don't
weekend. What are you talking about?
Take time off.
What? Are you addressing moi? Our weekend gets smaller because we're not open on Mondays. That's why this is our Monday, but I'm still doing stuff all day Monday. Like you can check out, I filmed a tips and tricks that was more me just kind of going off on life lessons from knitting. And it was about lifelines yesterday. Go check it out. Speaking of checking it out and everything. So we mentioned the Patreon, but you can also subscribe for no fee. You can actually assist us help you by subscribing to this channel or subscribing to my tips and tricks. But my tips and tricks is far ahead of this channel. So we have to help Liz out by showing her some love too. And are you trying to look like you're crying? Please.
No, I'm laughing because, I can go check. I think
we lost a subscriber, by the way. I think that's not a lot. We're at 534 when I just checked at the beginning of filming.
We were at 535.
I know. That's why I said we lost one. It happens. There's some flux. People join and then drop off. It happens. But we need to make Liz feel better. So if you haven't subscribed already to this channel, please consider subscribing and hitting the alert little bell thing, or at least like it. Do something to help the algorithm get to more people.
Because if we hit 600 subscribers, we'll have a sale.
We'll have an online sale. But also because share the joy, right? Yeah. So okay, I think that's all I have. I'm sure there's something I'm forgetting, but maybe we'll remember tomorrow. Come back and find out. Okay. Stay safe, everybody. Make an appointment and wear a mask to come in the shop. And you be you and we be we. And thank you for being part of our community. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye. Oh, I'm going to get stuck in my yarn.
Ooh. You made it.
I made it.
It was iffy for a few minutes.
Bye.